Hello and welcome back to RailRoads Online. So today we should have a good run, good payday anyway. Not necessarily going to be a long locomotive or anything like that, but we should have a good payday coming. We are going for some more of the gold in the gold industry, so we will be moving along the raw gold today, I believe is what it's called, or refined gold. Maybe it's refined gold. You know what? Let's fly down there and take a look so we're not just like, oh, that stuff. Yeah, it is refined gold. So that is our goal, if you will. I'm going to turn around and disconnect the number 8 here from the stack of hoppers, as we are not going to be needing those today. We did turn around and run enough loads that we got some more gold ore over, which did take quite a bit of deliveries of wood beams up there to the gold mine, but nonetheless, at the end of the day, we do have, I think it's probably going to be like 2/3 of a car or something like that full of the gold. Not quite full, but getting there. Should have just switched this in the map. Did not need to get out of the loco anymore. Old habits. Hopping up in there. Bring the camera out. And whoops, let's bump that backwards, blow everything out of the locomotive. Taking that back. Did adjust some sound settings a little bit higher, still being pretty cautious with this locomotive. It is pretty loud. Alright. We will just hook into this stack. Gonna go ahead and take it out this way. Before, when we were running the ore cars, we were definitely running the other direction, but this time we're not gonna worry about that, as the gold car obviously is our goal here. Alright, let's now go flying. Just going to be whipping around those little side dump cars. I suppose we could leave them here, but all part of the gold chain, so just going to leave it all attached. No big deal. I can't imagine that the weight of those is going to make too much of a difference to this locomotive. Alright, let's see how far we went there. Let's see, is that gonna load? You can see we do have 10 there. I think these hold either like 15 or 16. So we will just kind of let that do its thing. Not going to be a full load. Should still pay off pretty good. The gold is like absolutely obnoxious when it comes to payoff. So as typical, 3 at a time, we are going to load up. Weird that they put them in a stack of 4 on the ground, but I guess, what you got? Yeah, so 16 max cargo on these. Probably a huge paying load. Alright, we just have one more to get over. That's going to be our 10, which is good enough. Give us a good rough idea where we're at making money-wise. A lot of loads to run on the back end. A lot of supply chain getting empty on this one. Alright. So with that, we are going to go ripping down the rail. Blow some steam out. Like I said, I can't imagine this locomotive having much problems hauling one loaded car, so we are just going to go flying. It's not even full, that car, though the gold cars themselves are fairly heavy. But, you know, we're talking about one of the top end locomotives here. Shouldn't have a problem. I'm willing to bet on it that we aren't going to have any problems anyway. So before we get going too nuts, we will go ahead and check. I think we're only going to have one switch we have to worry about on this one, and it's going to be here. And then we should be good to go. I bet you that gold, this probably drops on that side. I think it's coal that drops on this side, and the gold drops in both cases on the other side. So that's my guess, if I remember right. So we're going to roll out that way and see. If we have to back up, it is what it is. Good look at the Mastodon there. Great color option for this locomotive, just really fits it if you ask me. Workhorse locomotive, great look to it. Attractive effort, speed, it's all in there. It's definitely not a lightning bolt on the rail as per speed, but you know, a steady runner, that's for sure. You can see it's starting to chew up the grade here. Gonna have to give it a little more oomph. This stretching out, you know, over 4%. I think we were 4.5 or something like that on this. So definitely not sparing the grade here. It's got plenty. And hauling right along at 20 miles an hour. And I think we could add a bunch of cars and still be doing the same. Still pulling a little bit of acceleration there. Yeah, it's biting down just fine. Cruising right along there. 50% looks like, so it's still going to pull, you know, a good pace up a hill. And again, definitely a light load, but gonna do it. Here we can see the beam stack that we have brought in. I'm not exactly sure. I think it's coal that we ran out of here, so we're gonna have to do. Oh, we don't have a lot of rails left. It's actually rails. Looks like it's rails that we ran out of. So you know, something different to run there. Oop, we should probably chop down a little bit on the speed there. 15 is preferred in and around the industries on this map. Yeah, there you can see we're picking up a bit of a wobble, but still hanging on the track just fine, no problem. Locomotive, surprisingly for its size, does not seem to have too much of a problem with turns or anything else. Cruising right along, I have to say. Pretty impressed with this locomotive overall after using it. Definitely would recommend a Mastodon for your layout. And I would honestly say that, you know, picking one up as soon as you can get one, probably going to make life just a little easier on the railroad. Yep. Nice steam release with the whistle and everything else there too. Not a ton of color options with this locomotive, but good looking loco nonetheless. Fair amount of smokestack and light options, so definitely ways to customize the loco. Here is definitely moving along. Nice clip, 30 miles an hour, doing no problems there, just cruising along. Really don't want to end up picking up the train, so not going to go for a speed test here, as we do have the right hand turn down at the bottom there, but we will let it go ahead and run. Really steady locomotive, good brakes, consistent on the brakes. That's one thing I would say with this locomotive. Doesn't have this herky-jerky bite in it somewhere along the line. There's a good looking RO shot there. Moving along. Alright, we will apply some power. Go for some speed, no point in dilly-dallying. This will give us a chance to run through the arch, I believe, for the first time. Hopefully we clear that height-wise. This is going to be the first run in there, so definitely giving it a test with a bigger locomotive. Hopefully we don't run into any problems there. This is not one of the giant locomotives, but it's definitely good size. You know, we have a fair height here that we have to clear. These cars aren't super short, so we'll just have to see. We did go with a shorter smokestack on this one, so I do think there were probably a taller option would have got us up higher, but it looks like we're going to hit the whistle stack there, if anything. So we'll just have to see. Pop off valve. Hopefully we fit. That's the big big kicker. There's no super great way to measure height except bringing your loco out and dropping it on the deal, but we don't have a lot that we can do about it. We could probably try to lower the groundwork a little bit in there, but hopefully we just clear and don't have any problems. This car is definitely one of the bigger cars, and not one of the smaller locomotives, that's for sure. So a decent first test for sure. Probably don't need to go flying into it at absolute breakneck speed, so if we wreck, we totally wreck everything. Because if we hit it, we're going to trash everything anyway. It's just what it is. And then we'll have to make some adjustments, whether it's dropping the track or moving it around. So hopefully we get a little lucky here. Alright, moving along, moving along. I think we're going to be good. Yes, no, yes, no, yes, no. Yeah, my money's out. We're good. Let's see. It looks like it's got plenty of room from this side. Alright, let me get by that. Fine. Ooh. Hopefully we clear it. Yeah, we're good. Might not fit one of the big giant locomotives through there. Could be. That might be a little bit too much to ask, but it's going to definitely fit the Mastodon, so that's going to work for now. This will be a good test too after the drop. We will go ahead and run it around those turns, as that was the tightest turn that we put on the whole thing at 35, I think it was. So we'll roll this one in nice and slow here. Gold ingots coming out of there. Refined gold going in here. Get on the brakes and see. Let's see, does that do it? That's right in the middle of the dock. We'll see. Well, we could have done this actually from the cab, but we're not gonna. Is that gonna drop? It is gonna drop. All right, let's see where our money's going. Through the roof. That's where our money's going. As you can see, 3,000. 3,000 a bot. Yeah, that's $30,000, and that thing wasn't even full. 2/3 of the way full, and it's a $30,000 car. So there you go. You know, obviously, tons of money. Jackpot winner. That's huge for the railroad. $52,000, obviously the most money we've been to at this point, and now we can certainly start stepping up the size of all of the rolling stock and really start filling out things when we do make drops. So we probably are going to need some more holding, things like that. Bigger yard, maybe a few more smaller yards would be an option. Definitely different ways we could go. As is, we've kind of gone more with micro yards all over than having one big yard. So probably would just keep that going at this point. And then we will, as said, ease this out of here. We're not even going to ease it that much. We're just going to run it through here and see how we get going. We want a good, 10, 15. Make sure it isn't going to come off the rails. It's looking good. Little jerk there, but nothing major. Obviously going to work, going to pull through decent. Make sure this rock is good. And I think once we get past there, we shouldn't have any problems at all. So I think from there with that one, we are definitely going to call it a win. Say thanks for tuning in. Remember, if you get a chance, like, share, subscribe. Subscriptions are free, but they sure do help the channel. Y'all have a great day.